그래 나대지 좀 이게 무슨 가서 무슨 세들라 안에 될야 안에 지게 여와로 시 비네 시체로와 원병 무슨 세다 이게 무슨 라는 무슨 나중 무슨 세 시체 다 원병 무슨 될라 가 개발 마서나 나체로 미기 원병 무슨 나용 원병 무슨 내용부터 지고 제가 무슨 리용 무슨 세대 네 무슨 될래 나체로 하다 원병 무슨 세다.
Yes, good afternoon. And this morning we continue to look at direct perception. We saw that there are four divisions: sense direct perceivers, mental direct perceivers, self-knowing direct perceivers, and yogic direct perceivers. And then we looked at sense direct perceivers, which are divided into five. So the eye sense direct perceiver, the ear sense direct perceiver, and so forth.
미기 속지 통용도 되네 되네게 당보도 미기 셔바디 근데 참아지 되네 계진이바디 계진이바 손바디 뛰는 거라는데 미기 또 참아디 아니 제시해야지 아니 속지 나와 있네야 될야 내가 마도 봐나 되네 나라만 해 봐야지 되네 미기 왕보 숨라 되네 숨 채바 나신 다 나위 왕보 숨 네 왕보 숨 제 왕보 류용 And we also
spoke about the three divisions of sense direct perceivers and how they all, in a similar way, relate to the five divisions of sense direct perceivers in accordance with their differing uncommon empowering condition. So, for example, when we see an object, then that very first moment of the eye sense direct perceiver is a valid cognizer. The second and subsequent moments are subsequent cognizers. And if one becomes distracted from the object, then that direct perceiver becomes a non-ascertaining awareness. And that's the case for the eye sense direct perceiver as well as the other four sense direct perceivers.
계진이바 숨바디 미기 셔바디요 지시데 원병원 숨이 지시데 차고라 다 미기 수시 통로도 디젤이야 아니 옹이 되는게 벤 당보 수시 통데 내가도 젤이야 옹이 디 통성선 비 템바시야 저러와 디 텐시에서 디안 지시데 디 똑바래 로아 지시 니가라 미기 통요 수 통요 계제 당보 니바 숨바디 예 지시데 디 원병원 숨이 지시데 세야지 and suk tongi migi sheba dige jembi gelya toba jeba ni thosam bi jembi tenshi gejo diya jishere diniga jishere sede na jembi tenshi lamna toba ma to wangbong sum de yomare.
And furthermore, the subsequent cognizer, which is the second and subsequent moments of the very first moment, which is a valid a sense direct perceiver that is a valid cognizer, that subsequent cognizer is a direct perceiver, hence it's in this division. When one later recalls the object that one has been looking at, then one recalls in dependence on a subsequent cognizer, and that cognizer, this one later that's connected with memory, this is not a direct perception, it is rather a conceptual consciousness. So the one that we have here that refers to the second moment and those that follow is a direct perceiver. The object is still directly perceived, but later when recalling the object in dependence on a subsequent cognizer, then that is a conceptual consciousness. So both of them are subsequent cognizers. The first is a direct perceiver, the second is a conceptual consciousness.
마 레찬에 강반나 레찬 대시 메도데 잼비 젠시기로 진짜 디 잼베지 지시래라고 그러거든. 제가 델레 안 가시게 디체마 제세 제마 인추레스 가르람나 그런 게 메도디 잼바 젠시디기 메도디 당보도 거로 봐. 디니에도 또요 말어 봤어. 진짜 메도디 당보 징거 거 당보 또도 진짜 당보 또 베기 이 메도디 그런 젠시디기 당보 또도 제가 그 체마 샤주 그랬어. 제가 그 지시 차사 말이에요. 그 체마 차사. 그래서 그런 게 젠시데도 당보 깨로 와. 당보 디니에는 그런 게 지가마 메로 와. 매장 그 당보 깨 와서 그 유디야 당 메도디야 당보 또고 그랬어. 제가 그 안에 다 당보 살도 쓰데 당보 또고도 아주 당보 또에 돈 또고 리바래 된 유 당보 또에 리바 차기도 된 체마 차기로 와서 다 직접 걸리고 그러네.
네, 이게 다들 젠시기 거기서. So what we've heard here is that, let's say one's on a walk, one perceives beautiful flowers, so that's going to be an eye sense direct perceiver, and then, but only the very first moment. Then all the subsequent moments are sense direct perceivers, which are the subsequent cognizers. Later, when one's home and thinking about the nice day out, and you recall the beautiful flowers in the park, then one recalls those flowers using a subsequent cognizer. So one then may think, now when I'm recalling when I'm using the subsequent cognizer to recall what had previously been seen, so those flowers, is not that very first moment of this subsequent cognizer. So the subsequent cognizer now, which is a memory consciousness, is not this very first moment of the subsequent cognizer, this memory consciousness. Is this not a valid cognizer? Because it's a knower and it's new.
Now do some down.
Dini konda. Drenche de sapare di rikpare kerang milua sungpimbe.
Milua yu togo se toba de milua re. Sesa yu di togo re de towa de dangbo togo du medo dangbo togo di nye lo korang to be kijinga ma ne mindu. Sesa ko medo de yu togo du de dangbo togo du. Ne rikpan de sha. Sesa sar du milu rikpa cha gi den chema re do as. Sene di togo li ro re.
And so the doubt then is that this memory consciousness, which is a subsequent cognizer, the very first moment of it is new, it's a knower, and it realizes its object, so that flower. So it's a new, incontrovertible knower. It fulfills the definition of a valid cognizer, does it not?
Delia anzu tsema da jishe se de bi de xiao er bene lumba ji liang anzu mi dang bo le yin anzu lumba de le yu yu ne sa ji de le yu yu ne me mi ji er wa da dang anzu de tigen da bene mi da go ba tigen ji er yu yu gen ji er wa di yi ti ji ne anzu de sa ji le ga zhe ge zhu guo wa ji sa tsema se de di ro ji le da jishe se de ko yu de dang bo bene anzu 따고 바실이어도 아주 lumba들 당보리 거래 당보 통고 사실 통고래 이내 아주 유매래 술을 잘해 거라서는 아주 튀게 미디를 잘해 거래 미디기 마티바나 티 마티바나 아주 조신 거 말다 사실 가와 조고나 직 때마다 조신 거 미디기 규버디기 파 티셔도 된 아주 조신 거 규버디기 마티바나 아주 조신 거 말아 마신 바인장 되니게 당보 규버 튀겐디다 조디 참아들이야. 근데 니바 다 디젤이야 조간디 조미디다 제시인데 조를 차고라. 제 배된 조. 제나디 나도 캠이 람바지 조고나 람가 균에 마신인디 미당보디 튀겐디게 잘해야지. 코 제수 조고라. 이나 코 미디 당보 사지들 당보 리고 때 이나 디 튀겐디게 당보디 콜로야 잘해야 당보들 잘해. 제가 디 제수 조고라 봐. 제가 디 나신 다데 메도 잼비 젠시디기 고 메도 당보 잼바레 메도 당보 똑바레 데 이내 코롱 메도 당보 똑바디 왕부 시바디기 메도 또메나 코 젠투고 말에 지금 코 메도 젠야디 술로라레 버스는 코롱기 녜라 메도 똑베 왕부 시바디 끼어라 대단 왕부 시바데라 라레바 인잠 코 지시를 해서 거다. 지시를 그런 게 제가 원부시에 그런 게 년년에 참아지게 또 매나 그또 두고 말해. 또 두고 말해. 제가 모두가 인자 그런 또 년마 또 비게 참아들라 라레제 될라 된제 거디 메도다 하고 와인자 아니 될라 지시를 해서 그 당보 또 받점이 가서 우리 참아를 하기 말해서 제가 참아 현다지라 마되어 봐서 라말에 봐서 그런 도구는 참아 채고래서 제가 되게 이제 참아 당보지게 또봐 오병어선도 또 맨날 그또 두고 말 오병어선 또봐 참아 될라 된 디기 끼인지네 아니 잼바디기 메도 또 원자 아니 그 가서 우리 아니 지시를 해라고 김자로 뒤채고래.
So to clarify this doubt then, let's take an illustration. So if you think of a time when you perhaps joined a tour party, and one usually would join a tour party to go somewhere where one has not been before. So in order to go as a tourist to somewhere that is unknown to oneself, one needs to rely on a guide, someone who can take one there and show one around. Without a guide, it's difficult to go to a place that one doesn't know. So the tourist follows the guide. The tourist relies or depends on the guide in order to explore somewhere new, in order to come to know something new. So we can make a comparison here where the guide is likened to a valid cognizer, and the tourists who follow the guide are likened to the subsequent cognizers. So the tourists will come to know the area that they have been led to, but in dependence on the guide. Without the guide, the tourist will not come to know this area. There's no one to lead them there. So similarly, subsequent cognizer knows an object, but it only does so in dependence on a valid cognizer. So when one later recalls an object, and using one's memory consciousness, which is a subsequent cognizer, one only has the subsequent cognizer in dependence on the previous directly perceiving valid cognizer. So only because of this previous valid cognizer, this directly perceiving valid cognizer, can later there be memory or a subsequent cognizer of what one knew or perceived. So therefore, a subsequent cognizer, whilst it can know the object, it can't newly realize it. It can only know the object through the prior valid cognizer. So therefore, a subsequent cognizer is not a valid cognizer.
미기 셰바 깨지 당보디 유디도 되는 깨지 이바디 제가 고 미기 셰바 깨지 당보디다 깨지 이바기도 깨지 이바기도 깨지 당보 조사로 와다 요 말로 와 제가 매반상 그 유디야 깨지 이바디게 변화적이 잘라로 두스타되네 깨지 이바디게 통해 유디 깨지 당보 미기 셰바데 통고 말 진짜 깨지 이바디 통하기 유수디 계진이베디 단념들리고로 마도 ཉel메로 하다가지 통고 말와 진짜 계진이비기 계지 당보에 통게 미기 셰베게 통하기 수티 계진이비도서 가사레스 그 미다바지 계지기 조로로 가사레스 진짜 미기 셰베 계진이바디 통하기 유디 그런 것을 통하레스 진짜디 체마레스 디나시레 대신하지 지바레 체마레와 인초구도 삼바이나 제가 그런 게 계진이비 뒤기 수디 그런 사도 통하래 돼 이나 계지 당보디기 숙도면나 계진이바디기 숙도야 용고 말에 매반자 그런 계진이바디기 숙 유도야디 계지 당보디기 또 받을라 라려 말에 계지 당보디기 또 면나 계진이바디기 또 토야요 말에 제가 계지 당보디기 또 봐인자 계진이바디기 또 말에 저는 되네 인자 계진이바디 그런 게 유통해야 돼 당보를 통과할 때 이내야 참 지시를 세워야 돼 그런 거 유도 받이 깨지 당부 또 받을 라려 봐라 될 참마들 라려 봐 인자 그 지시를 해서 그러다. 다디디 깨지 니바다 Jampa the Geshe Tsama Mare Labgan killing Hendiki Konso Gumzen Dishe Warda.
So di Labgire?
Geshe Labgan did Dirwa, the Dejing of the Dodia, the Jarama, Geshe Nibada, Geshe Tsama Mares killing Hendiki. Just a Konsuki Gumzen Dishe or the Geshe Imbi Gumzen.
Furthermore, one may think, okay, so the first moment that a valid cognizer realizes its object, that it is a new incontrovertible knower, and all the subsequent moments are no longer valid cognizers, rather they are subsequent cognizers. One understands. So this is because that first moment of consciousness has ceased, and the second moment of consciousness has arisen. And that second and following moments are subsequent. But it's not only consciousness that is impermanent. The object that is being perceived is also impermanent. It's not only consciousness that changes momentarily, so too does the object. So if the perceived object is changing momentarily, as is the perceiving object possessor, the consciousness, then isn't the second moment of consciousness perceiving actually a different object? Because that object has changed. So one may have a doubt again. Does the subsequent cognizer not actually realize the object? Because the object has changed. So those who assert subsequent cognizers do not accept this. They say the only reason that a subsequent cognizer is able to see the object is in dependence on that previous moment, that valid cognizer. Without that valid cognizer, the subsequent cognizer would not be able to see the object. So therefore, the subsequent cognizer is dependent on that valid cognizer. And therefore, the subsequent cognizer doesn't newly realize its object, because it's depending on a previous moment, or it's depending on that valid cognizer.
Tane ane sanji tokpa de sanji kunde zimbi tokpa chi dishi su tokpa gigro demba gigro denshi gigro 지난 데네 장은 저기 지게 sanji kula mi piki shini ruji kunda chi mi pi shini chubayina 지난 당보 미기 sanji kunda de 호시다제 안다여도 되네 삼로나려 안 똑바티기 kunda 디로지 팔로라샤 데네 데니기 똑바텔레 데니기 똑바티기 젠파디 유구디 야 미바 제주도 딜레 젠제 제마줘바제 델레 안내가 저기 루 제주도 요 공묘도 데 신내도 디네 두고로와 디네 야네 두 공도 디네 똑바티기 대시 당보 준비 구디 세브라 증거 말에 직 증거 말에 세브라 해야 돼 디네 공고 로디 똑바티 디네 군자디 세세세 통화 최고래 그 돈지대야 세세라는 거 진짜 디네 지네고 간잠직이야 신년 주면도 구디 오늘랑 아주 미기 통마나 신집에 세우 휴직 때 도도 예대 바로 지 나와라 차야 용거로 진짜 디네 현장은 저기 미기 셰비기 숙통 될라데는 똑바디 야 공구 전에 야가 줄 거면 그 뉴번 셔셔로 딩이 좀 두어야 최고래
그러니까 가리 야게 저게 되디 디디디디 구체셔래
구통이 똑바지요 미기 꿀스타르와 디통은 되는 삼만나라 구디 된 통에 진바지 기기로 데 제시 최고로 똑바해야 돼 지단 제시에다 데 세메고 니 무슨나 데 제시에 되려 이나 데니기 똑바팅한 저기 공바이나 구디를 제시도 미죠 공바이나 데네 가세요 공문나 공 슈체 공바디 뉴베 첼셔도 데네 똑바디 구디 세울 통야리야 세세 주고로 제가 데네 저 꿀미베 신이 줍셔야지 아 저기 제시도 신이 주고여서야지 데네기 꿀미스다와 미통 꿀통 데네 델미베 똑바디 끼에는 똑바디기 구디 진제들이야 세부 제시 내게 공고로 와다하지
그러니까 제가 정신책 신이 줍네 데니 디 쿠데 Musudan Rapotongiare Sumpimpe.
신의 줍네심에 신의 줍네 당보 똑바디게 꾸지 세브란 징거마 징거 세브요 말아 안
데네데 신에데니 셀포통기are 데네 데르신에 좀
띵에 좀 검고제 세일 통고래제 세일 통고래 제가 세일 통하는 될자는 제지도 내제 아니 고소 류섬 신직의 대화세 띵에 좀 레어도 신의 주고로 제가 누스는 검고 제도 야 똑바디 뉴버 첼시 주고로 띵에 좀 땡땡 저 투고래제로 와
Similarly, someone who has the aspiration to develop the calm abiding, then they will take an object. It's often suggested to take that of a Buddha image, and they'll look closely at the Buddha image. So they'll look with a sense direct perceiver, gaining great familiarity, looking at the object and seeing very clearly what it looks like. So they'll be generating a sense direct perceiver, and this will have also many subsequent cognizers as well. Then when they know the object well, then they put the object away, and in dependence on their memory consciousness, that subsequent cognizer, this conceptual consciousness that is a subsequent cognizer, which is a memory consciousness. So that's very long, but it's introducing all these terms. So it's this subsequent cognizer, which is recalling the object which was directly perceived, the Buddha image. This subsequent cognizer is a memory consciousness, and this is a conceptual consciousness. So with utilizing this conceptual consciousness, the meditator will recall the Buddha image and try and hold it with some stability and some clarity. So this is, of course, very difficult at first. The object is lost, the object is not clear. But through training repeatedly over a sustained period, stability starts to come. Clarity starts to come. So here this conceptual consciousness is growing in strength. So this conceptual consciousness is a subsequent cognizer, but here it's just referred to as a conceptual consciousness. This is growing in strength. And the particular mind that is strengthening is a mind of either stabilization or meditative stabilization. And this is growing in strength until the point when it is so powerful that calm abiding, single point of concentration, is attained. And that object is held in an undistracted way. So this whole process, one is strengthening one's conceptual consciousness, in that the object that is being held by the conceptual consciousness, one is trying to grow the stability and the clarity of it until calm abiding itself is achieved. Of the four divisions of direct perception, we've now looked at the first, that of sense direct perceivers, and now we come to the second on the top of the fourth page, page 169 in the Tibetan, and that is of mental direct perceivers. The definition of a mental direct perceiver is that which is produced in dependence on a mental sense power that is its own uncommon empowering condition and is a consciousness that is an other knower that is non-conceptual and unmistaken.
유디 이 셰바게도 대야 똑바다 많이 봐세 마추에 셰바 아니 대야 현직이 셰바서 현직 랍도 라릭 많이 발고 때 현직이 셰바서 되는 지라는 이용 숨나기래라와.
So let's look at this definition. That which is produced in dependence on a mental sense power that is its own uncommon empowering condition, and is a consciousness that is an other knower that is non-conceptual and unmistaken. So you recognize a lot that's in this definition that we had previously with the sense direct perceiver. Where we see some differences is that with the sense direct perceiver, then the uncommon empowering it had as an uncommon empowering condition a physical sense power, whereas here it is a mental sense power. So that is one clear difference. And then furthermore, it is an other knower. So what does an other knower mean? So it's the opposite of an other knower would be a self-knower. And that, as you can see, is the next division. So it says other knower to make it clear. It's not referring to a self-knower.
rāngdā xēnyi kī nāne xēn zō yūdū xēpa kī xēpa jīla ane yī yōng sōm xē tōkpa māyī bā xē xēn yūdū dzīmbā lā ane dzīmbā dē nā yūdū dōnjī dā mā rē wā xē sā wā dzīmbā xē ane dēnī kī dzīmbī kī xēpa tēlā ane xēn rīk xē dī xē wā xēn rīk xē dī bēne dā ngā zō mī kī xēpa dī kī xēn rīk rē rā wā ngā zō mī kī xēpa dī kī xēn rīk rē sō chē sā xēn rīk xē dī 미기 셰바 코롱기 코롱래 옌비 유지 증거래라래 세상 코롱기 코롱 증거 말래라래 세상 미기 셰바데 현직이 셰바래라고 그래 세상 현직이 셰바래 이 현직럽데 김자가라선 미기 셰바디기 코롱 증거 말래스 코롱래 옌비 유지 증거래라고 그래 대 현직 셰바세 되네시라고 그래.
Up to this point we've spoken a lot about I sense consciousnesses. So let's use that as an illustration to explain an other knower. Because an I sense consciousness is an other knower. Why is it an other knower? Because it apprehends something other than itself. So it doesn't know itself, it knows something other than itself. So similarly, a mental direct perceiver is also an other knower. It's not a self-knower. Self-knower knows, it knows, you can maybe say it knows itself or it knows consciousness. But an other knower knows something other than itself. So that's the meaning of other knower.
코롱래 셴비 유지 증거로마도 코롱기 코롱 증거 말레스 세상 코롱 셴릭세도 코롱래 셴비 유지 증거래라고 한다라 세상 이 용어숨 세야되기 유지에디 코롱기 코롱 증거 말레스 코롱기 코롱래 셴비 유지 증거래스 된자 고 셴릭세도 낭세의 셰발레샤 셰발레 셴비 유조 증에 제바진데 셴릭세야죠 낭세다 근데 랑릭 랑당 셴스 근데 랑릭세야지도 랑릭세야다 셴릭세야지도 제가 디 랑다 랑릭세데 랑세데 가르스는 낭 셰발레자고 그래 다 셴릭시베 셴디 가르라나 셰발레 셴비 유도 셰고 제가 디네 인자 다데 셴릭시바세야디 차상기 낭 셰바다 셰발레 셴비 유니지나 셰발레 셴비 유디 진거래 신다 유디시고래 제래.
So in brief, an other knower, such as the mental direct perception, the mental direct perception is an other knower, and this means it doesn't apprehend itself. So anything that is an other knower apprehends something that is not itself. And that was the case with the sense direct perceiver, and that's quite clear. It's not apprehending itself, but something other. It's knowing something other than itself. A self-knower apprehends itself, knows itself. An other knower knows something other than itself. In the case of a mental direct perceiver and a self-knowing direct perceiver, they both know consciousnesses. They both know consciousnesses. But a mental direct perceiver knows a consciousness other than itself. So a mental direct perceiver is of course a consciousness, but it knows a consciousness other than itself.
당저 숙진비게 이용었음 남나 숙통의 이용었음 자진비 이용었음 지진비 이용었음 로진비 이용었음 자자진비 이용었음 리기와 세상다 숙진비 이용었음 세 되기 숙간의 증거를 남나 당보 미기 되기 숙통고래 미기 숙시통 당저 이유 다디시오 이 미기 숙통의 미기 원숨제 아니 이 숙통 이용었음제 근데 숙진비 똑바세 심벌을 계시나
대리는 배양해서는
당보 숙통의 미기 셰바디 기고래 당보 미기 셰바디 숙시통 데네 이 숙통에게 미기 셰바디 숙통요도 데네 람상 깨진이반에 아니 가소래 숙통의 이용었음 기고래 숙도 이용었음 기고래 이 숙통의 이용었음 디젤라 숙진비 똑바리 기고래 똑바리 기고래 당보 미기 숙통의 미기 원숨 되게 디젤라 아니 숙통 외기 이기 원숨 되게 이기 원숨래 디니가 다 디젤라 숙진비 똑바리 기거래
Den dampo de the wampung wonsum ha
다 미기 숙지면 미기 wampung 원숨 기거래
There are different kinds of mental direct perceptions. So there's a mental direct perceiver apprehending form, mental direct perceiver apprehending sound, mental direct perceiver apprehending taste, and so forth. So those 5. So how do these come about? Because we've just heard that mental direct perceivers apprehend consciousness. But now we're saying mental direct perceiver apprehending form, apprehending sound, etc. So the sequence is like this, the sequence of 3. First, we have, for example, an eye sense direct perceiver apprehending form. In the very next moment, there is a mental direct perceiver apprehending form. Then, in the very next moment from that, is a conceptual consciousness apprehending form. So if we take out the term form, the sequence is a sense direct perceiver, followed immediately in the next moment by a mental direct perceiver, followed in the next moment by conceptual consciousnesses. And this now, this illustration, apprehending form.
베나라주기 잘라스트 베니수로 통데 다보 미기 통에도 람사 미기 수기 통 람사 똑베기라 어디 직도 셈비 템바기용으로와 디파라딜라 템바데 마게발라와 미기 수기 통 데네 템바데 마 똑바데 마게발라딜라 숙통이 이용었음 기고라 알아주기라 데네 람사 똑바데 기고라 세상 알아주기 숙통이 이용었음디 깨지직마도 되고 말 람사 가루고 람사 끼신 现在可以的到处过嘛，和就是通通什么没完噻，你第多一个数点别几几嘛都没完噻，但那个这个数字比英文的哪嘛不落切过来，数点数字比英文的哪嘛就到处过嘛的。
So just to mention the sequence again, and then we'll do another illustration. So we go from a sense direct perceiver to a mental direct perceiver to a conceptual consciousness, all a mere moment apart. So to take an illustration, when we see someone, so our eye sense direct perceiver will see that person's form. In the very next moment, there will be a mental direct perceiver, and in the very next moment from that will come conceptual consciousnesses. And assuming we know this person, amongst the conceptual consciousnesses will be a memory of that person, and we'll know who it is. So we have the sequence. First, the eye sense direct perceiver sees a person, sees their body, sees the person's body. Then there's immediately followed by a mental direct perception, and that then is immediately followed by conceptual consciousnesses, such as a memory consciousness. Now this mental direct perception that comes between the sense direct perception and the conceptual consciousnesses, it's only a single moment. And this brief moment doesn't, for us, ordinary people like ourselves, it doesn't realize the object. It's actually a non-ascertaining awareness. It's an awareness to which the object appears but is not ascertained. So for us ordinary people, then this mental direct perception is actually a non-ascertaining awareness.
Suksibe yiwon ki gore chere yiwon ki gore chesa suk ngara zu ki suksin yiwon digi ane dagen yiwon le tembare se yiwon de kan sha gore labna suk thoi deji korongi kijinga ma tha tema tha to suk thoi mi gi number sheba chorwa odi suk thoi yiwon digi yiwon se dagi yiwon se che gore
망쳐야 거서 예 참아마래
나도 수 ngara zu ki dambo mi gi number sheba ki 디젤라 숙통이 이원이 기거와 진짜 이원 디게 다게 이원을 땜바래라와 이원세에 된 넘버 셔바시래 진짜 데니게 수도 이원 디게 다게 이원데 가래라는 그런 게 숙통의 미기 넘버 셔바들이 넘버 셔바디 그 숙통 이원 디게 다게 이원세 제가 이원디래 이원세.
So the mental sense power that we see here in the definition. So this is a primary consciousness. In other contexts it would just be called consciousness, but here we'll call it primary consciousness. So this is the sense power upon which mental direct perceivers arise in dependence on. So we've spoken about this sequence now. We have the sense direct perceiver followed by a mental direct perceiver followed by conceptual consciousnesses. But the empowering condition that leads to the arisal of the sense direct, the mental direct perceiver, is a mental sense power, and a mental sense power is consciousness. So we say what consciousness or which consciousness? It is primary mental consciousness.
Tsema se da Geshe se na la ma lo sum yu ro yi yong sum de le tsema je Geshe je na la ma ba lo sum li ro.
When you look at the divisions of mental direct perceivers, we see the same three divisions that we had before with sense direct perceivers. Valid cognizers, they are mental direct perceivers. Subsequent cognizers, that are mental direct perceivers. Non-ascertaining awarenesses, that are mental direct perceivers.
다들이야 천시들에 가르쳐왔으니 이 용어숨 다 이게 다 체마들 가르쳐왔으니 현심시비 원시 기지 당보디 체마제 현심시비 기지 니바디 내네 제시제 내네 다 델이야 니엘디 셰셰도
And we look at the illustrations of those divisions. So an illustration of a valid cognizer that is a mental direct perceiver would be the first moment of a clairvoyance that knows another mind. The very second and all subsequent moments of that clairvoyance would be an illustration of the second division, subsequent cognizers that are mental direct perceivers.
나 저기 원시에 세디 현대의 삼나래야 맞두세디 미텔이야 삼나 가르코도 그 삼나 가르다면 권주의 삼로제 하고 해야 그 원시 대ning 아주기 원시 삼로치 리거로 와 내가 원시에서디 원시 영화디 신의 줍제 딩에진 줍찬 마도 영화요 말이야. 그래서 먼저 신의 줍 신의 톱찬에 되네 신의 아니 양 원시에서디 원시 줍고 지금 원시 줍나 되네 되네기 생기 셈나 하고 투야기 나주길라 원숨지 기도고와 되네 지고.
In clairvoyance is the ability to know the mind of others, to know what others are thinking about. So clairvoyance is something that can be developed, And it's developed through developing through developing our consciousness that is called stabilization or meditative stabilization. And developing this to the point where one has attained calm abiding, one can then develop the clairvoyances, but not before. Without the prior development of calm abiding, it's not possible to develop clairvoyance.
Gara tengi tu mindu dayo de lamsang di tengi tu sempi samno di shengi sem di ten sem de to tu bigi de nga zui la ngosum ge to tu ngosum ji gi go des jisa di ane de la de ni ji le shen sen shi bi won shi sa ji sigurwa.
Those who have clairvoyance will be those would include Arya beings as well as non-Arya beings. It really comes down to, as we just heard, in order to have clairvoyance, one needs to develop calm abiding. So Aryas, of course, have calm abiding, but many other beings who are not Arya beings will also have calm abiding. And calm abiding is cultivated through strengthening the consciousness that is stabilization to the point where calm abiding is developed. But when calm abiding is achieved, one doesn't automatically then achieve clairvoyance. The mental factor of meditative stabilization that is developed into calm abiding then can be developed further, and clairvoyances can be achieved. So therefore, the mere achievement of calm abiding doesn't lead necessarily to the attainment of clairvoyance, but on the basis of calm abiding, meditative stabilization can be further developed so that clairvoyance is attained.
Shandala nesu karkar dumini monshi haku tuya. Then shenyi semdi monshi haku tuba na shen sukta denela soba nesu mambo monshi haku tuba yungore.
Didn't go to such a shempeki kola kare sung bimbe?
Saji shenda diwa dine pogi diwa kar dumindo tabanda shinaki diwa ni kengoroji tuya mi samtala monshi yugan tuya diyena yuwa me tontu gore.
So there are different types of clairvoyances, or you can maybe say psychic perceptions that one can develop. One of which is knowing the mind of others. The other, another is one can see, for example, within the ground, whether there are minerals within the ground, such as if there's gold in the ground. Also, one can develop a psychic perception of where one can see at great distances. So one can, for example, tell if there are kangaroos in the forest and what they're up to, because it would be as if one were seeing them. So there are a variety of clairvoyances that can be cultivated.
당한 저기 배 숙배 닝지고 시리아 배 시우 삼로데 차상 디날레 따디베 갑라 안에 지게 베네자로 암조 고용도 다자 암조 고용하자 자디베 년시기도 니제마 지데마타도 자진베기 이용었음 기고로와 제가 자년비 년시디기 제데마도 자진비 이용었음 기고로 디 이용었음 디기 자도고 말했을 때 나라마를 해지래.
So chiki kola sampe kabla dragona
dragoyodu jai goyu nyanshi inawi sheba 기직 때마다도 디젤라는 이 용숨 기고래 자진비 용숨 기고래스 아버 자고고와 디젤라 자진비 용숨 기고래 되네 자진비 용숨 되게 자 능고르데 나자 도고 말 나라만 벌어래서 아버 자 암조 고고와 고비 나위 셰바 기고와 디젤라 나위 셰바 되게 자도 고어데 될래 이 셰바 자도 진비 이 셰바 기고래 인원 기고래 되네 인원 되게 자도고 없선 도고 말에 잔난고래 인원들 잔난고래 자도고 말에 나라망에 봐야지
카레티 낭나만에 빠차게 레페
도고 말 잔난고래
그래 냠잉여래 야만에 카레
데라 남이야 기시도와 이 숙제발 하고 차시 봐 삼로 쳐서 편히 인지 오실래 따지고라 암초 자지고나 고와나 암초 되게 나외 셰바데 자도고 말와 지금 디젤라 이 자진비 이용을 숨기게 디가 인원 디가 자도고 말해서 고나라 말로 해서
And then an illustration then of the third division of mental direct perceivers, non-ascertaining awarenesses that are mental direct perceivers. And the illustration is a mental direct perceiver apprehending a sound in the continuum of a person whose mind is especially attracted to a beautiful form. So here one is one is looking at a beautiful form, and there's sound, and then that sound is heard. But the mental the sound is heard with an ear sense consciousness, and the resulting mental consciousness, that is a non-ascertaining awareness, because the sense consciousness too is non-ascertaining. The person is particularly absorbed in the beautiful form.
저기 소소기고 소소기고 있나 이 착과 현달에 때나마데나 아주 자치 통로도 자치 권에 암조 자치 권에 자진비 녀세기 디 제데마타도 람사 자진비 이용었음 기고레스 대 자진비 이용었음데 나라마 올려레스 대신에 셰바는 미기 셰비 수시 통로도 기진이반에 숙진비 이용었음 기고레 디야 나라마 올려레스 제상아 소소기비 기기 미기 숙통 나위에 자토야 지로뇽 알리게랴 자뇨 디제 데마토 람사 이용스므르 기고레 원보 셰바디 가레 통에나 디 통에 이용스므르 기고레 디제라 디 템비 잔시디게 기고 똑바디게 기고레 지난 디파라게 이용스므디 차사 숙통에 이용스므 잔님비 자진비 이용스므 안에 랴자진비 이용스므 안 로진비 이용스므나 차사 소수기부 이용하는 기기 되네기 이용스므 차사 나라마가 최고래
그래서 So for ordinary beings such as ourselves, if we are observing something that we're very attached to, then we are going to be quite absorbed by that. Then we say we're looking at something. Then what we hear, this is going to be non-ascertaining. So we'll have a non-ascertaining awareness of the sound that we're hearing, and as we heard in the sequence before, following from a non-ascertaining perception will follow a mental direct perception, and that too is non-ascertaining. So that's one way that we have many mental direct perceivers which are non-ascertaining awarenesses, and the other is that for ordinary beings such as ourselves, our mental direct perceivers are all non-ascertaining.
지자다 숙지 이 용어서 해야지 안주 삼다나 제가 삼나라 하고 두말 가서 그 게디 뒤통통 안주 줄에 게디 뒤통통 좀 맞게 남산 가하고 버려 지자 안주기디 하고야라 깔래 하고라 뭐 소야라 깔래 하고 버려 당 안주 가는 거 소야 하고 우드스는 미기 셰바디 수 통에 비게 미기 셰바 세야디 하고도와 제리아 숙디 젠비게 대시 어딩이 디 통성 디 선배의 유디 잼비게 전시계에 잼비 셰바딩 아주 계에 하고도와 이내 세고를 지민도 하는데 내가 도 삼다베 내가 아주 님고도와 제라 가르통서한테 대시 네 가르고서 삼다 이디네지 고서 선배 잼바 끼어마다 잼바 디기 세부 휴직 레토금도와 제가 딩아도 검심해야 장도를 맞아 봐자 제가 디네자 디네기 대신에 수 통서 잼바 셰바나 다 세고를 지가 요 말에 이내다 디네기다 Jambeki suit Jampati Yane Yano combine, that's usually me Jane and combine the Zichi the Neagi Tushi, combine the dinner Jambati Yudi says Dugorwa, Manja Bene Sagi soon share in Yamban, the Zitinish Yamba is a bit Denigi, Jambati Yane, Yango the Tenshi, Jamba Chabaina, didn't I say Chagorwa. Says that I don't do Sena, Dejin Yungo de Kuroshi, and Nara, the Kundra Chase, to sometime Natom Nomra Chikuji days on do some big Jambas Yormato, say who should you leave me do? Says nothing until Jangdor Meba and Zadi Chagorwa.
So in terms of our own experience in relation to mental direct perceivers, it's a little difficult because they're all non-ascertaining awarenesses. So it's a little hard for us then to think of those that we've experienced because they're non-ascertaining. But what we can perhaps have think about is, let's take something that we know we have seen and we can recall it, but we were quite distracted at the time. So we recall it with difficulty. Or something that we did observe quite clearly, but we haven't thought about for a long time. Again, we can recall it, but with very little clarity. So the illustration here is of something that one's seen, but it of course can relate to anything that one is trying to recall that one has observed beforehand. And the reason that we're struggling here to recall something with clarity is because of the weakness of our mental factor that is mindfulness, or we can say memory. So the weakness of our memory, or the weakness of our mindfulness. If we, on the other hand, have developed mindfulness or our memory consciousness so that it is quite powerful, then with far greater ease we are able to recall things that we have perceived previously. So this is to give a particular illustration. We sing many things in this room. Later, when you try and recall these, you may be able to recall them. So it's not that you didn't perceive them at all. It's not that they non-ascertaining awarenesses, but they were perceived in a weak way, and therefore one can recall. Oh yes, I saw that statue, or this statue, but there's no clarity, and in fact one's perhaps just making a bit of a guess. So this comes down to the weakness in our mindfulness or our memory consciousness.
And
sure.
That doesn't make sense. This description of a non-ascertaining mental direct perception, apprehending a sound in a continual person whose mind is especially attracted to a beautiful form. So for ordinary people, mental direct perception arises at the end of our hearing sound, right? And then there's one moment, and then there's conceptual. So now we're saying our mind is especially attracted to a beautiful form. So we're talking about a visual consciousness, not an auditory consciousness.
Okay.
Occurring at that end, and
sure.
It's contradictory.
Sure. Okay. So we've got someone who's looking at something, and they have their non-ascertaining awareness towards something they're hearing. Yeah. So which is the mental direct perceiver that is being? The mental direct perceiver relates to which of those two sense consciousnesses?
Well, the examiner says a mental direct perceiver apprehending a sound. That means it's an auditory consciousness.
Yes.
That has sensory consciousness
Yes.
stopped. There's been one moment of sense, mental direct perception, which is inattentive anyway. But now we're talking about that direct mental consciousness apprehending sound in a person whose visual consciousness is apprehending a form. So you can't have the two main minds manifesting simultaneously. So what's going on?
Okay. Then the Petsen Sumka kola kon dokpa yore. Then the mi kong chik tongi yore. Then kong yang chik the dra chik yore. Then dra de or then kong wampong ngonsum ni yore. Wampong ngonsum ni yore. Then dampo wampong ngonsum ni da namdu yor sikimare labsom. Migi wampo ngonsum, dang nawe wampo ngonsum ni dan namdu yor sikimare labsong, de ma sekundria ni yore, dokpa ni yore. Dene di mi de, di chala tongpe kabla, dene petsen sumpa di, igi ngonsum petsen sumpa di migi wampo ngonsum dang trawa yore, yamina nawe wampo ngonsum trawa yore.
당보 될라 미기 왕병 없음 나요 왕병 없음 냠도 깨요 말라요 말등에 대신 냠도 깨요 라요 다데 대신 라야 가서 미기 따뒤비 걸 잡고야 여러와 그래서 니가 냠도 깨요 그래서 냠도 깨요 말 냠도 깨요
그러나 데니 미테 콘디 찰라 타베 카블라 데니 데 체마레 이네디 드라데 낭르메네 파레베
데라 니가 용거래 미카시기 숙디 도시 병아라 암초의 고대 자티야 도토가 니가 용거래서 가실라 고 삼로디 숙딜 바 숙시우시우 당되베나 디 암초의 자지 고베나 암초의 자지 나위시바 자마도 바 용거래서 그래서 니 나서 용거래요 그래서 숙 미기 시비 숙도야다 암 나위시베 자도에 니 뒤냠도 또바 용거래 또 마도바 용거래 또바 용거래서 니가 님들 제와 용거래서 나 델야 미기 숙 제발았다니 락바라 차신 발에도 빼지나 삼로 이디 편 삼로 이디 셈디 바 숙대랑 지파 수데 빼 델야 숙치면 따드디 데네 자지 고베이네 자디 암조 고만 나위셰바디기 자디 또 두고 말했지 나라만 보러 자디야 나라만 보러래 대 나위셰바디야 나위 자통유 녀미 나위셰바다 나라만 보러래 니제 데마타도 깨비게 자지미 이용었으면 돼 나라만 올려야죠.
오케이, 고소. 대살포 고소. 대 마세. 디 미기 원봉은 데 공기 이긴 좀 양 낭만에 파래. 가생 아토미 펠페인.
나중에나 미기 넘버 쉐바 디고 숙도고래 숙도고래 디제수 숙토의 인원들이 나라말로래.
Okay.
샤달라.
Self-focus. Okay, lots to say. So, first of all, one can have two primary consciousnesses present at the same time. So, for example, you can be seeing something and hearing something in the same moment. So you can have two primary consciousnesses manifest at the same time, or only one, where you're seeing something but not hearing, and so like non-ascertaining. So you can have more than one primary consciousness manifest at the same time. So now then specifically to this illustration, you've got someone who's seeing something of great beauty, and they're attached to that, and their mind is very concentrated on that due to the attachments, and therefore they're not hearing what is said, but the sound is appearing but not being ascertained. So to start out with, we talk about two different sense direct perceivers, one of the eye and one of the ear. The eye is a valid cognizer, that is a sense direct perceiver. The ear is a non-ascertaining sense direct perceiver. Both of these are followed by a moment that is mental direct perception. And if it's an ordinary person like us, both of these will be non-ascertaining awarenesses. The illustration is specifically referring to the ear consciousness that is distracted. But both are actually non-ascertaining. Okay. Now, I shared your doubt. This isn't hugely clear to me. Okay. And then the self. The inji self kang mare. Yeah, danta self tuche.
다 데라 다 지젤라 라링 오숨 시고래 라링 오숨 다 라정오스미 체니체 야와체 아니 디레.
So now we come to the self-knowing direct perceiver in the middle of the 4th page and the bottom of page 169.
다 라정오스미 체니 데라 디시오레. 진남 시오레 진남. 진남 세딜레 라르게 체니레세 오 라르게 세데 진남 세데 라르게 진랍나 진발랍나 셰발고 고레. 송화다 진바 넘중아서 송화랍도 셰바 마인게 유데라 송화다고 그래. 진발라이도 셰바 질고 그래. 제가 진남라이도 그런 그 유유 쪼 셰바 질미네 유유 쪼 셰바 진비기 되네기 리바 질라 아나 라르크스 그래 질라 되네 질라 그래 질라.
Now we come to self-knowing direct perceivers. Let's look at the first definition, that of just a self-knower. So we'll see two direct definitions, self-knower and self-knowing direct perceiver. So we'll look at the first definition. A self-knower is that which has the aspect of an apprehender. So first of all, what is an apprehender? So this has a partner term, apprehended. So in other contexts, we would have heard about the apprehender and the apprehended. So the apprehended is what is apprehended, it's the object. And who does the apprehending? It's the apprehender. That will be a consciousness. So when one sees apprehender, it was referring to a consciousness.
다디 라릭체 다 라링오스미 라요도 라링오스미 칭이들라 다 또바다 자신 라우라 또바 자신 마추위기 안에 진남 시오 진빈 남바체 유디 셰나 제유 송화의 진빈 이난에도 유 셰바지 유도 셰되게 진다 유도 셰네 진되게 또바단 자신 또바만게 마추어들라 네 라링오스미라게 되지.
Die Labgien, che the number de sumrokang se indicate tokla ato six helpo yomare. Nampa ranata nama.
진남 소리. 진배 그런 거 가르 진거라서는 진세야디 셰바니 송화의 진바신 진바세 셰바시. 셰바지 진되게 셰바 남베 셰바지 낭체 셰바 진되게 안 또바단 자위게. 아니 리바텔라 마추 리바텔라 라리 모스나게 되지래.
Die Zimpade zingiore.
아니야, 셰바 진거. 가지 그런 거 진짜 유지를 셰바 진거 그래. 셰바 진마도 본바다 까와다 되는 숙다 되는 데미지 가요 말. 그런 거 진짜 유지를 가서 셰바 진거 그래.
So an apprehender is a consciousness, and for a self-knower, it's a consciousness that is apprehended. So this is saying an aspect of an apprehender shows that it's a consciousness that is apprehended, because a consciousness is an apprehender. Then, if we look at the definition immediately below, that of a self-knowing direct perceiver, it's the same definition, but here different additional characteristics maybe, or qualifications are included. It is non-conceptual and unmistaken. So the self-knowing direct perceiver is non-conceptual and unmistaken. So self-knowers, there are a few different types, a couple of different types. The first is that we're looking at here, or the one we're looking at here, is the self-knowing direct perceiver. And it is a self-knower, and it is also non-conceptual and unmistaken.
내가 마추에 라도와 진짜 마추와스데 지다진의 마추와 라고야 소마 라릭 라추와요 말에 마추와 짠야면 내가 좀 미기 셰바 나위 셰바를 추와 용 그래 진짜 라릭라 추와세 메레 라릭라
Den kan det tro det det kommer som vi känner som pimpe.
미기 셰바를 추와 용 그래 나위 셰바를 추와 용 그래 이 셰바를 추와 용 그래 이나 라릭라 추와세리요 말했어.
This term unmistaken in the definition, you could perhaps say is not entirely necessary, because the self-knower is always unmistaken. Other consciousnesses may be mistaken, such as mental consciousnesses may be mistaken, sense consciousnesses may be mistaken. So it's not that they are, but they may be mistaken. But self-knowers are always unmistaken.
다 라릭스에 가르치네 샤고 그랬다. 지랑이 샤고를 왔던 셈잠바다 도대바다 되니게 내주 우마랑지 보고서 랑릭세 샤고를 와. 제가 랑릭 샤고보다 юм세네 가르려나 나 지시고를 건주게. 베네 숙토야다 차상 디미기 셰바게 숙디게 파 통구도 안자다 제다 로다 차상 파 셰비 와시게 도구도 디멘비게 데메테제다 되니게 차상 이기 셰비 파 도구도 왔어. 아니 또 봐야나 셰바 코로스 도구래라다 미기 셰바 코롱게 미기 셰바 코롱게 미기 셰바 도구를 베스네 도구 말와 되는 미기 셰바도 수하고 그래. 또 하는 미기 셰바 또 하는 수레 나위 셰바 코롱 또 하는 수레 셰바 코롱게 가르도 것은 셰 유지 파 현다 유지 도구 와 셰바 코롱 유지 도구에나 셰바 코롱 수하고 그래서네 지리어도 다 셰바 코롱 하고 가는 수레에서는 다 랑릭세야지 샤고 그래 섬지 다 되니게 랑릭 샤고 다 셰바 코롱 하고 간 직때 랑릭세야지 와 니게 하고 그래 지래.
If we take an object of form, perhaps this book. So who knows this book? We'd say, oh, the I sense consciousness or the I sense direct perceiver knows this book. And then we've heard before that following the I sense direct perceiver come a variety of conceptual consciousnesses. So all those consciousnesses, who knows those consciousnesses? So the schools, the tenets that assert self-knowers, the Sauchantika and the Chittamatrans and the Svatantika Yogacharyas, they would say it's a self-knower. It's a self-knower that knows consciousness. So that is the function of the self-knower.
지산디 라르 샤고바디 코노즈기 제바로지도 юм제를 망고 섬단의 샤고르마도 즉 라르세디 배 심주체도 다 라르세디 샤고비 юм제로 뜻이 지게 고 간예로 최고라 간예로지 간예 배 갈래 하고 간예세지 어제자 라르 샤고비 юм제 라르 디가르란 지자 라르 마샤 바네 가르용 거래 지자 라르 샤고바디 bendigo azu chilo sukta chasan ani demede chasan shebage ha고 두고 진짜 제 하고 그거는 셰바 코로나 하고 가는 수 하고 그래다 코로나 도고르베 도고 말해서 제가 지에도 아니 코로나 셰바 하고 간 지겨래 텔레 라릭 라그리에서 라릭 사시아그로와.
These tenets who assert the self-knower, they do so based on reasons. That's not just something that they found convenient or they just made up. So they say, well, we have all these, maybe you can say the objects in the world that are known by consciousnesses, but what knows consciousness? So something needs to know consciousness. So the answer would be, well, consciousness knows consciousness. And then the question would be, well, is it consciousness that knows itself, or is there a specific consciousness that knows consciousness? And so those who assert self-knowers will say it's a specific consciousness that is a self-knower that knows consciousness.
이사 내제라 마위게 라릭 세데 샤교 말와 혼주게 라릭 세데 마샤비 김대 가래란나 혼주 갈라고 월서네 베네 미수고 되고 가네 진비네 베 수고 되고 슈 제베네 코롱기 차바 가래야 코롱 쉔지 되투고 레신 되투 말레스 코롱 고가라랑 되투고 레베스네 랑 되투고 말레시레
어디 가냐 먼저
미수고 되고 같이 해나 코롱 수고 되거든 직쪽서 가라다 그 교과시간 가다가 제투고 봐 코롱 고가라 랑지 되투고 레베스네 되투고 말레라 코롱 고가라 자제 야랑 되투고 레스네 되투고 말레 고 수고까지 야고 여베네 코롱기 고가라 랑 되투고 말레스 되네 지로치네 진노부슈 저변나 신다 지금 차상 제투고래 이내야 지까지 너무 있나 코로나 코로나 제기를 위해서 지금 말해 코로나 제한데 코로나 현대지 제고마도 코로나 제투고 말했어. 그러봐.
그렇죠.
어디 인자다 셰바 간에시 약보 릭번 노보 릭보 간에시네 셰바 코로나 또고 말했어. 제사 랑릭람나 랑이 소소라는 게 소소라나 또 봐도 고고 그래. 제사 셰바 간에시 있네 소소라는 게 소소라나 또고 말했어. 하면서 근데 지가 진놈이나 지 코로나 지금이도 와서 디마제바 나시 셰바까지 리그 약고 휴지나 셰바 코로나 또고 말했어. 제가 랑 리그 랑 또고 말했어. 랑 또간에 샨다지 또 오마도 랑이 랑 또고 오마 진짜 랑릭 세드 지금 말했어 랑릭라나 랑이 또 발라고 그랬어 랑이 또 발라나 셰바 간데 진네 코롱 또고 말했어 빼나 지간에 신호면나 지 코롱 지금 말와서 미수부까지 대부에나 코롱 코 가는 쉔 두고 말와 빼나 진네 지고 말해라고 그래서 제가 막 랑릭 비디오 봐디 김찬로지.
So as we heard at the beginning of our talk this morning, that not all Buddhist tenets accept self-knowers. Amongst those that don't are the Vaibhashika, or the Great Exposition School. And the reason to illustrate why they don't accept self-knowers, they say someone who has a very who's very able-bodied, who can move around with great ease and is very flexible, they can do many impressive things with their body, but they can't stand on their head. So, similarly, a knife that has been sharpened so that it has a fabulously sharp blade can cut anything and with ease, but it can't cut itself. Similarly, mind, no matter how good that mind is, no matter how intelligent or sharp-minded a particular mind is, particular consciousness is, it can't know itself. So their view that they don't accept self-knowers because consciousness cannot know itself. And to explain that, they use the analogy of someone with a very dexterous body or a very sharp knife. They cannot cut themselves or stand on one's own head.
Dine Rik said Midu Bigi Jerama Honzuge, Rik said killing Omar. Tenyu Bigi Rik killing Omar. Tenyu Rik came in Bakalamna. That Jeramavana Benedode Bada, Semzamo, Rik Shabati, Konzu Jeba, Kantam Jilia, Shebadi Ganisto, the Shabakoron Tohan Garres, Pa Jeba Session, Dalton Zene, and Shebadi Tohan Rarik to Sene Shagores, the Dalton Zene Shagora, Dalton Zene Shagadu, Rashin Jubal Turures, Chesa Dalton Zene Yomares. Chesa Jeramavada, Gasadode Bada, Semzam Bada, Umara Konzugi, and Shebadi Tohan Ganesh, Pa Dalton Zese. And the Sheba Digi Tungudus and Dalton Zene, Igores, Yen Shagore, Dinian Shabana, Debajuba Charugures. Dalton Zena, Kanishina, Zevana, Zeniomares. Chesa Mevanza, Turangi, Rarik said, Dalton Zene Shagore, Chesati, Debajuba Chardini, Dalton Zene Yomares, Sheba Canisto, Sudo, by Shimju Papa, Zevan, digging the Yomares. Koranzuki didn't yen a shower, didn't out on Zine Shagor, this yana digmares, Chesna Dineshavan, Demba to begin as a shower, Demba to say Yoma, 1,000 Zin Yomares, Chesna Tenju became Rarik Mudiba de Kimsenti, Rarik said, Sheba Yudi Karacheba Chejet, Pa 1,000 Zine, near Yoba Shavan, digmares.
Thank you for Samsul Kosong, the Sempagi Samsul Yankagana Konda.
Right, Semzamba Honzugi. Sheba and a suit to war, Tohan Ganesh Yore, Pa, Shimjush Pa, or that Sheba Hawan, Rarik said the Shaw, who sent the Nishagoro, Pa, Sheba Shimjush, Dalton Zene, then the Zene Shadu, then they go Chick Nigo Neva Shagora. Says then Dishavana, Dembaduba Chatu, relevant, then you pick. Says I sent them by Kiron to get in Dalton Zene, Sheba Tohan Rarik said Shadi, Tata Chengmares.
Then it Sim Sampala Sokpa, Consochik Ragdu, the Dempa Drupare, then it carried Dempa Drupa, the Rangrik, Yamenedi,
Rangrik, Digas and Court, Shefa did Hakuman, Garagar to the part, Dalton Zé, Pa Shimju Zene, Gansam Gilia, or the Sheba to the Rangrik said Shao, Udus and Rangrik Shagurova. She's not the Koran to get Demba Drupare, like Koran the Demba Drupare, and then you be allowed to. Ditzing in Dembaduba Yomares, Dalton Zin Yomares, Kura Rarik in Shavadi Digmares, says not the Dalton Zevan in Yomares, or 10 you be shared. Says a Rarik, 10 you be Rarik, Millie became said to Tishago.
And we also heard that the Prasangika, the consequence school, they also don't accept self-knowers, but they assert a different reason. So those who do assert self-knowers such as who are the Sautrantikas, the Chittamatrans, and one of the autonomous schools, the Sautrantika schools. They say when we investigate, we analyze the mind, we find a self-knower. And because the self-knower is found, it is truly existent. So this they assert. So the Chittamatrans will say in analysis, we find the self-knower, and it is truly existent. Prasangika then say, nothing can be found when you search. Nothing can be found that is truly existent when you search. Therefore, they do not accept truly existent self-knowers. To be honest, for us, it's a little hard to really to say. For us we don't have the strength of meditation yet to be able to analyze our minds in such fine detail, to be able to say experientially who's got the correct view or not.
And that Jimmy Konala da deneki namjula tawaina anganjuge dele tawaina dele tenanga stopache di tenane ngazule konroke yage ninga yoreseda di deneki tayale zemyata wonbu ko tamba deneki matawache matawashada yaji daminye bada anjigi deneki gowaina dene yane yadu tembaina an dele tene anganju konala da dene yonza an diso majembache mashi 야네 다 당보 호랑네 다디 녀야 마녀바지 샤야다 그래서 고여베네 야네 야도 삼마다지 디 삼마다바지 다 제바 제주야지 제주바이나 아니 가줄래 강가 중화래야래 어디니기 지상한 주기 디니기 원실에 되네 숙다 말나도 델라딘 또바르게 디 또바데 야네 야도 삼다바네 가시네 아니 콘르기야다 가시네 아니 지 차바기야데 차고로와 다 디니기 야지가 저게 상기의 송다 되게 아주 예지게 최년에 암초 고상바디 니도나데 아마주 삼로디 야 젠바디 야네 야노 삼다와이나 니기 판도여 봐세 아니 상기 구로고 제외나 구통위 구디 아니 아주 덴비 덴시기로와 되게 덴시디기 진제 될래 제주 내些공바이나 야디 아주 판도여 봐세 띵이진 주요를 판도요 봐죠. 되네 자다 원부의 직자 말하기요도 안에 원부 되네 사리 하고 뭐지 안 될때네 하는 거 저기 예 가서 강아세 세자다 되네 지기 디기 주비하게 한 삼로 교와 따야지 디제도 배주 따야지 디네도
Now it's I think of use to mention what has been said at the end of a previous class. The way to utilize this knowledge that we're gathering here is we've hopefully coming to see with greater clarity this sequence of events that lead to happiness or suffering arising in our minds. So we've heard that an object is perceived by a sense or a sense consciousness in dependence on its sense power, and then a variety of conceptual consciousnesses follow. So that's what we've been looking at here in some detail. And where this is very useful is if one gains familiarity with this sequence, one will understand the workings of one's mind and thereby understand how to deal with suffering, how to generate happiness and peace. Because we see that when our mind is fixated with an object, or we have here, a mind is especially attracted to a beautiful form, or when the mind is fixated with an unwanted situation, then we see how the mind is not at all peaceful. And in fact, we may be suffering greatly. And the sequence is that we are thinking about something with great energy, and this object or this event was something that previously, with either sense power or mental power, mental sense power or physical sense power, gave rise to resulting direct perception. Here, what we then need to do, recognizing what's happening within us, is say, I need to close these doors. This is how to stop this process. I need to remove myself from that object so that the sequence doesn't keep continuing. Or I need to distract my mind. I need to stop thinking about this event or this object repeatedly, because this is only strengthening it in my mind. So we heard earlier about how to develop calm abiding, where one uses one's subsequent cognizer, one's conceptual consciousness, the memory consciousness, and by thinking about the object again and again, one gains greater familiarity with the objects, then those minds become of greater strength. So this is how we use this process virtuously. But it's the same if we keep over-conceptualizing about an object of desire or an object of repulsion. That just destroys mental peace and leads to ever greater suffering. So if you come to learn and understand this topic well, that gives one ever greater encouragement and skill in turning away from what leads to suffering, what destroys our mental peace, and rather focusing on virtuous objects such as of teachings, and thinking about teachings, listening to teachings, leads to ever greater happiness. So we'll conclude here. We still have some moments, so if you have questions, then please feel free to ask. Alan?
So, for the mental direct perceiver, could you just clarify what's the, in an ordinary person's consciousness, maybe an ordinary person's consciousness, I sense consciousness perceiving the flower, then there's a mental direct perceiver. What is the observed object and the appearing object and the engaged object of that mental direct perceiver of an ordinary person perceiving the flower?
So when an ordinary person sees a flower, they have that sense direct perceiver is immediately followed by a mental direct perceiver. For that mental direct perceiver, what is the observed object, appearing object, engaged object? Okay. Deni ngato metok chikdongdu. Deni dampo ngato migi wampo ngonsum yore. Deni kechik jema ngato migi yigi ngonsum yore. Deni yigi ngonsum dei migul chukul nangyo karire. Medogngone. Desum medogngone. So all three objects for the mental direct perceiver is the flower itself. So the appearing object for the mental direct perceiver, the engaged object, the observed object, all three are the flower itself for the mental direct perceiver. Okay? Andy?
Is it possible to have two main minds at the same time of the same type of main mind?
Okay, so can you have, for example, two visual sense consciousnesses? Oh, two main minds, yeah? Two main minds, okay? Two visual sense consciousnesses in the same moment?
You talked about different.
Yes, okay. Deni nazo miki nam percepa yamena miki wampo ngonsum ni dan namdu du chikpa ye sikidepe.
수다.
So pena miki wampo ngonsum ni dan namdu du chikpa
미기
yedepe.
왕부 원숨 니에.
Du chikpa.
미기 왕부 원숨 니 시리에다 니세네 배제 뒤지 봤을 때 제가 하절 니 맞아요 말아. 다 되네. 미니에 미직 맞아도 스타베네 미기 왕부 원숨 찍차로. 이게 다들 이체로서 오늘 다디 도와 리거래. 제가 미기 왕부 지 미니가기 편이 유메도 찍을 따요도 메도 통해 미기 왕부 원숨 니 찍으래 배 찍기거선 도와 찍으래 답아래. 제가 되는 인자 안델이야 미기 왕부 원숨 찍마도 끼고 말해서 라칸 찍어래. 찍마도 끼고 말해서 지난 배신 나라 찍기를 니 찍으래 때때 세부 가민도 돼. 이내야 찍 도와치에도 찍기를 니 찍으래서네 시고라 가시게서도 미기 왕부 원숨 찍마도요 말해서 제 시고라. 제가 나랑 삼도 전에 니 용초구를 된기도 돼. 그래서는 미기 왕부 가디 왕부다 디 왕부지 가가 인자 왕부 가가네 때위기 미기 넘버 10이 이용은 니 차기도 선물. 이제 베지나라디레세다 나 아마 고마 쪽이 니레세다 디고 많이어도 있는 나랑 삼수로 치는 디제.
고소. 데니 이 삼나 벌써 얘기인 건좀 니단남 두두칙바 여세케래. 그래서 아주 미긴 건좀 당 나웨인 건좀 니 두칙바 여나. 데니 얘기인 건좀 벌써 두칙바 여세. 나랑라면 해봐.
이 말에 미기 왕병 옷은 기지 당보기 전에 미기 왕병 옷은 기지 니바 대당 이용 옷이 염득이고래. 미기 매도 통위기 기지 당보디 저서 기지 미기 왕병 옷은 기지 니바기요도 기지 니바디단 뒤냠도 아니 이기 숙도 이용 옷이 기고 리니냠도 요래. 미기 왕병 옷은 기지 니바다 이기 왕병이 숙도 이용 옷이 년도 요래. 이 여반자다 아주 미기 왕병이 숙통위기 미기 왕보다 숙통위 이용스미 님도 여초를 님도 얘기를.
So it's a good question because this is something that's discussed. The texts don't give a clear answer. My view is probably yes. So the discussion goes about, we have, for example, eye sense direct perceiver, we have two eye sense powers, and so some will say, yes, but there's only one eye sense direct perceiver that follows. And others will say two. I think it's possible to say that there are two. And so I would say that it is possible in that illustration. In other ways, you certainly can have two sense direct perceivers in the same moment. One would be, let's say we're looking at something, one would be the subsequent cognizer, that is an eye sense direct perceiver, as well as the mental direct perceiver. So the second moment of the one and the first moment of the other.
So then my question to that is, surely that is one object of knowledge, one phenomenon made up of two things.
So does that not mean there's one object, but that that is known by two minds? Like this? Or they say it again?
Well, it's just one object of knowledge.
Yes.
One phenomenon.
Okay.
And well, if you're taking two, say the sound of music,
Yeah.
the leaves, the colour of the leaves, right? You're seeing it simultaneously.
Yes.
It's simultaneous. It's a simultaneous thing I'm talking about.
But those are two objects.
Well, I'm saying that it's one object made out of two things. It's a multiple phenomenon. Like the dog and the cat is one.
The sound and the color of the object.
Yeah, if it's known, that's the object that's known.
Okay. Then 공전에 then also 그래. 완봉은 좀 니다 남도 여나 이니디 요치겨래. then I dokpa ben nga lome tongdu dang di lungi drap di loma de yeme dokiere deni di gogire amso gogire deni di ngompo Awampo Munsum, Nida Namdu, Du Chikpa, Yul Chikpa de Lapnia.
Wamping wasum de la Migi, Wamping wasum the Nayu, Wamping wasum Lana, Kuni Yukarwa, Duchilikin, Yukat, Neo Bongosum Digi, Lomata, Migi Wampati, Lomaton, Lunga, the Tadi Amchokura, Lomat Migi Tungorwa, Sesam Kuni Yukar.
Then shelter locker, because I call shelter Lapsum. Shelter locker.
Shaja Chipa, Kagarwa, Shaja.
Shelter Chikpa Kaga.
Kagarwa, Jadzimbigo, Digi, Shaja the Jare, Migi Wampotoya Digi, Sukre, or Casa. Penny su iptan hado karane di chagoro na koni ki zinda yu khagare shaja khagare ko yu khagare.
So the object of knowledge is different, the object of the mode of apprehension is different for these two sense direct perceivers, the eye sense direct perceiver and the ear sense direct perceiver. The eye sense direct perceiver is perceiving form that is the shape and color of the object, whereas the ear sense direct perceiver is perceiving sound. So different objects of knowledge, different objects of the mode of apprehension. Okay, good. Sorry, at the back, I forgot, sorry.
That's okay. I wanted to ask a question about stabilization meditation. So, when General was saying that it strengthens the memory and the mindfulness when you practice mindfulness meditation, does it also then strengthen the memory of other things that you perceive with your senses externally? Like, it's not just the image that you're meditating on.
Okay. So if one's developing the mental factor of meditative stabilization, progressing towards attaining calm abiding, we're strengthening our mindfulness or our memory consciousness. In the Tibetan, mindfulness and memory, same word. So we're strengthening these two, and that is in relation to the object that we are cultivating, say a Buddha image. Does it then mean that our memory in general is improving?
And what we absorb from our environment
Yes. Changes.
Well, not changes, but improves, like what we retain. Like
Yes, a memory and strengthens. Okay. Then ngato shini drope kabla, ngato thing is in shukshede cheru sergi yare. Then ngato drempa shukshede drogi yare. Then ngato yul di sangi ki kure. Then sangi ki ku zini ki drempa de shukshede cheru drogi. Then mase ngato drempa chitangi drempa de yang yage drogere pena chik gogere yamana chik se thong karina de drempa yang yage drogere pe
chitang anjugi sanju kulmi ne drempa jadu ko dene gi kulmi be drempa nyuba chore chitang anjugi drempa chorwa di drempa nyuba choro pena dade sanju kulmi be drempa chagorwa dene gi jail ya jampa de yagi chimbena ane yu shanda la mi ba na yu shanda jaya la le la da jampa timbu chin tu ya chagoro yu da de kul mi yu di kulwa de jail ya yu di shanda la kapo che shanda la samta ba na den di ta jampa tin churwa san jampa di churwa de.
Yes, absolutely. So whilst one's developing calm abiding, one's gaining greater familiarity with the object of meditation, but that one's mindfulness or a memory consciousness in general is also growing in strength. And therefore other objects one will also interact with, perhaps, with a stronger, more developed memory consciousness. Okay, thank you very much.